Pin myself. Okay. So welcome you guys. I am so excited about today's topic that came to me out of kind of out of the blue because I've been a little bit separated from my the ultimate work that I came here to create. And part of that has been my own journey to remembering, right? We're all here right now in this lifetime to remember who we are and to create what we know is inside of our hearts. And it can be very distracting lately. And even I've gotten distracted with life and my messaging. And it really was through a lot of deep, deep inner work that I just remembered, like, I'm here to help you live your dreams. And it is so important, like now more than ever, to start creating the dream that you know you have inside of your heart. Now, here's here's why it is so important. Because if you don't radically choose your dream and create your dream every single day, then what happens is your daughter calls you in the middle of work. Hold on. I gotta just put all that. This is so dreamy. Okay. So speaking of dreamy, okay. Um, my daughter, my youngest daughter, was the one who woke me up to remembering that I had this other whole reality to create. And the reason why it is so important, and and I get to infuse you with the memory of your dream, is because there's no other alternative right now but to live your dream. Because any other reality is that you're settling for like a default life, right? So the default life is where you're just part of the machine. And what that is doing is it's just separating you. It's separating you from yourself and others. And it's also separating you from like your dream. It's separating you from everything. And we have to see that that is what's playing out here, right? And if we know that it's playing out here, we can know that it's happening. And there's so many people. Hi, everybody. There's so many people who know what's going on in the world, right? You guys are so awake and you're so aware. But do we actually know what the antidote is? Do we know what the other other reality is? And do we know how to create that? Because if you're not creating it on all different levels, spiritual, physical, mind, body, soul, then you're part of this. And this is what we don't want. This is like we're anti this, right? And so the only alternative is your dream. And this is what I want to talk to you about. And this is what I get so excited about. And so welcome, 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 you guys. It is so good to see you. I'm feeling all of your energy. And this is a last minute thing that just popped in. And I wanted something for me to get excited about, right? Because there's a lot of stuff going on in politics. There's a lot of really, unhappy things going on in the world, right? But here's the truth is about me is that I am a woman who lives my dream, right? And it's not to say that I wake up every single day like with sunshine and roses, because I'm a human, but I have manifested, created from within my heart this incredible life. And I did it by choosing it, right? I saw what the potential was, right? I saw that being living on default and like giving my power away and sacrificing myself and living exhausted and being part of this beautiful machine, that wasn't me, right? And so when I was given the opportunity, I exited that system completely. I pulled the plug on it, pulled the plug on my marriage, I pulled the plug on my career. And it was around that time that my heart started to talk to me. And it started to talk to me because what was going on was the interpersonal relationships in my life were mirroring to me like what was going on inside of my heart. And I didn't like that when I knew that my relationship with my kids was I was mirroring really what was inside of me. They were mirroring to me. My husband at the time was mirroring this to me. My career was mirroring this to me. And I said, wow, I have got to fix what's going on the inside. And that was the first thing that I did. I was like, wait a minute. If if what is going on the inside of me, depression, anxiety, feeling really not good about myself, is creating my reality, then I've got to figure out how to create something different. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out, right? That if something isn't going the right direction, you've got to like step up and start steering the ship in a different direction. And so I did that. And I did that by dedicating my life to my dreams. And you really do have to dedicate your life to your dreams, um, and be all in on it in order to make the changes, because your dream is you. So the first thing that I did was I went all in joyfully. I was so joyfully. I went all in joyfully. I was like, whatever it is, I am a yes to it. And I became a yes to life. I became a yes to life. I became so lit up with this, oh my gosh, I get to do this, right? And what happened when I became a yes to life was thing people things started to be a yes to me. My kids started to be yes to me. Love started to be a yes to me. Money started to be a yes to me. Like opportunities started to be a yes to me. And so that's what I mean about being all in. It's like being a full-fledged yes to life and like going for it. All right. So that is just who I am. And because I want, right? I want the universe to be all in with me. So I want the universe to be like all in with Carrie. Like, Carrie, you are all in with life and you're willing and you're going for it and you're like a yes on all levels, right? And so with that, the universe starts to deliver that, right? It starts to deliver the things that we ask for. Now, how many of you are here because you want some secrets on the dream and living the dream? And I'd love, you guys can come on camera. I'm sitting in my living room, just chilling out. So imagine you're just here with me. I'd love to see you. Hi, Carol. Good to see you. You guys can come on camera, and I would love to know, uh, tell me what you dream about. Tell me what you want to create, because I'm here for you, right? I'm already a full yes. I'm already creating this and more and more and more and more. And I want to make sure that I pass on some important information to you that really makes a difference in your life today. Think of me as the oracle. I'm the oracle, and I have all of this information about the other life, the other life being the life that you can't wait to get to. You're like, I want to bypass, all the craziness and all the madness, and I want to go right to that end point, that destination where everything feels really good and aligned, right? And the reason why we want those things is because they feel so good, right? Sitting back and like dreaming about that other reality, it brings you into a state of feeling good, feeling really, really good. When I was younger and I knew my dream back then, when I was a kid, I was very connected to it. I would just go into the space and like dream about it and create it. And I still do that. I still use my imagination that way. And that is something that, like I said, that is the only reality that exists. Okay. And we have this incredible gift. It is called our heart, and it's called the wisdom within our heart that allows us to tap in to that space within our heart. I call it the inner dream space. And that inner dream space is where your dream already lives. It's already inside of you. It was given to you at birth. It's never, ever been separated from you. You have never been separated from it. The number one challenge is that because you have had a life and you've lived a life, and you have most likely not been properly equipped with the tools. The reason why this inner dream space might feel like you are separated from it, or it might feel like you can't remember it, or you can't feel it, or you can't manifest it, because this inner dream space is meant to unify with all of consciousness for physical manifestation. Number one thing is that the past, so this is like the past, has not been released in an energetic way, right? Because this inner dream space is an energy field. It's pure consciousness. It's the essence of who you are. It's the same thing. It's your soul. Okay. So inner dream space, essence, soul, all one of the same thing. But the major issue is that the past keeps replaying, like on repeat, right? How many of you experience this where past keeps coming up? Carol, yes. Anybody else experience where I'm going to clear all of this. Yes, yes, Carol. Anybody else? Carol, that's awesome. Yeah. So So what I mean by the past is you'll be trying to move forward, you'll be focused on something, and then all of a sudden something from the past comes up. It's either a memory, and that memory creates an emotion, and that emotion creates a reaction, and that reaction or the memory, whatever, if you're trying to move forward, all of a sudden you'll feel like you're going backwards in time. Oh, I thought I cleared that. I thought I healed that. Anybody else experience that? Okay. If not, I'm not going to talk about it. If you guys are like totally cleared up, but I think I'm gonna go with Carol. I'm gonna go with Carol because I'm gonna coach Carol on this. Okay. So if you are experiencing living in the past, okay, that is a very common, but and it's also the number one limiting factor that is keeping you up. Because when you live in the past, you're just recreating all of the events over and over and over again. And when you create those events over and over again, what happens is your life becomes a series of just reliving the same things. It's like kind of like Groundhog Day. Okay. And so this is a really slippery slope because when you live in the past, you're really stuck. Okay. And so the antidote for that, the cracking of the code or the system, where did my eraser go? Is that you must understand that energy, positive energy. So, what's a positive sign? Positive energy, love-based energy is stronger than negative energy. Okay. So if we have, if we're in a negative circumstance, how many of you right now feel like you're in a negative circumstance? Meaning life is kind of spinning you down a little bit, maybe emotionally. I mean, I suffered from depression, especially in the winter, anxiety, worry. How many of you guys are worried about the state of the world, the future? There's a lot going on right now. Okay. And so when we have these negatives, what we really want to do is we want to go very hard in the positive direction. Okay. Because we want to negate and shift these energies. Okay. The negative things in life. So one of the things that I do is I create environments that are infused with positive energy. And this was one of the first things that I did. Okay, I learned that I needed to receive positive energy to help what was going on negatively in my heart. So that what I did was I found someone who woke up my soul, woke me up from the inside out. And this was someone who was an activator. And the activations are energy infusions that basically go in and wake up your soul. Because I'm like, I know I have something in there. It feels really good, but yet I can't get it. I can't move it out. I can't like, I can't because I felt like there was a wall around my heart. And of course there was a wall around my heart. That wall that was around my heart was my past. Okay. Is this making sense to you guys? I feel like I would love to see you. So, how many of you are really showing up for your dream life right now? I know, yes, it totally makes sense, right? How many of you are really showing up for your dream life right now? Or how many of you are just like passive? I am trying my best. I love it. Thank you so much for typing. And that is your best. Thank you for showing up. Aparita, I think your name is. It's so beautiful. Aparita. What about Janice? Working on it. Good. Janice and Donna and Ruth Ann. How about you guys? How are you doing out there? I'm going to be honest. I have not taught this in probably 6 months because there's been a portion of me that has been that forgot. about it. And even though I've been living my dream, so I'm just being transparent and honest that it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect, but showing up the best you can is a first step. Okay. But I want to make sure that what I'm sharing with you is something that you're actually relating to in your own life. And so I love the feedback, and I actually require the feedback as part of my teaching. And if I had my way, you guys would all be with me. You'd all be with me right here in my living room. And so I'd love to see your faces. That's just a request. I'm going to put it out there to the universe. Okay. So, or just an interaction in the chat so I know that you're understanding it. So, when I was feeling super negative, I knew that I had to go in the opposite direction. So, I had to start infusing myself with positivity. Okay. So, that meant I unplugged from everything that was negative in my life. And I started to work on what was what was inside of me, and that was my dream. And this is the same for you guys. This is what I'm, as a coach, this is what I am coaching my clients with, because my clients come to me because they know that there's an alternative. They can feel it inside of them. They either dream about it, or it's something that really excites them. Their future excites them when they think about it, right? And if your future doesn't excite you, then what are you waiting for? Right? Because I want you to get so excited about the potential and the power that you have inside of you to create the life that you want. And I want more than anything, and I'm going to get loud about this, I want you guys to unplug from anything else that is going on and get connected to the love, the dream, the magic, the power, the energy that exists inside of your heart. And more than anything in the world, we need people who are going to take what is inside of them as the dream, the fairy tale, the destiny, the prophecy, and start creating it so it physically manifests, because this is what life is all about right now. A future that excites you, tapping into what is inside of you right now, a beating frequency field. And you might not feel this right now, and that's okay, but it is a light field of energy. I see it as diamond radiance. And that diamond radiance is meant to heal you, awaken you, energize you, and magnetize from the quantum field all that exists through all of reality, all time and space. And that is the solution to what is going on in the world, is that more and more people need to go in the opposite direction, like hardcore, like get all in. It's not the same thing if you are just thinking about it. Okay, that future that excites you, that you want so badly because you see what's going on in the world, that is exactly what needs to be, number one, woken up on the inside. Because time and the amount of time that you've spent, worrying or wondering or feeling separated from it, all those things, that past needs to be released energetically. Okay, the past needs to be released energetically. And I find that a lot of people don't know how to properly release energy from their body. So I want to just go quickly into what I see in my clients being the most incredible and liberating way to release. Okay. Number one, we have this beautiful heart. Everybody has this. And we have these diamond, these are diamonds. These diamonds, and that's the inner radiance. Everybody has it. But we also have these wounds that cover these diamonds. But these diamonds, these want to create so badly. And this is why, this is what got you here. These are the magnetic pulls. This is what keeps you up at night saying, I know there's something different. I know I'm meant to create something. This isn't what I'm meant to be doing. I feel like I'm stuck. It's basically your heart intelligence, which is in the frequency field of diamonds, saying to you, do it, create it, stop talking about it, stop worrying about it, go and create it. But the thing about it is we can't just launch ourselves forward. Unfortunately, we can't. We can get ourselves very equipped with the technology of our heart, and we can lay an incredible foundation, and we can allow that foundation to build and scale a lifetime worth of our dreams, because this is not something that all of a sudden is going to be like, it's not going to drop out of the sky. It's not going to fall into your lap, although there are opportunities to start to work with this, um, and start to build your dream. But I want to just go back to what goes on here and what I see and what I help my clients with and what personally I have been through and what I continue to go through is that I want you to think of your heart as a multidimensional field of energy. Okay. And these blue specks here, there's bazillion of them. And those represent creation, an energy of creation. So this might be these guys right here, that might be your soulmate, the energy of your soulmate. Okay. But let's say that if the energy of your soulmate exists inside of your heart and all you want is to be unified with your soulmate, but let's say that there's some love trauma, and that love trauma is keeping that frequency from being a full-fledged, heck yes, I'm totally ready to receive and give the love of my life, right? And I'm ready for that. My frequency is ready for that. But let's say that also what's happening is that you've got some like karma, you've got some love wounds, you've got some history. And the reason why this love or relationship hasn't come into your conscious awareness or your physical reality is because there's some stuff that needs to be worked out back here. And know that that won't happen until this is worked out. But I want to share some incredible news for you, because one of the things that I do with my clients is I help them free themselves from the past, free yourself. I mean, ultimately, this is a choice, because you can't actually move forward with the life that you want if you're anchored in that old energy. So we do this through emotional and energetic. And the emotional piece is basically where you get permission to be human. We're human, we have emotions. They're meant to purify our body. And the energetic is where I use my energetic tools to help assist with the release of this energy. Okay. So that's two different ways. Now, what happens when you're using this powerful, I call it the release technique. The release technique in a safe, guided space, which is always something I recommend, obviously, is something remarkable. What you let go of energetically through the release, you create space inside of your heart. So your heart gets happier. You shift vibration. You create space. The more you release properly, the more your heart space gets bigger. And that's what we want. We want love to grow. We want love to grow. We want our heart field to grow because number one, that feels incredible because you are no longer carrying around baggage. You shouldn't have to, by the way. There's a way to get rid of that, but it does take commitment. And we want our heart to grow. And why do we want our heart to grow? Because if our heart is the magnetic frequency field of our creation, and it is what is attracting the life that we want and creating the life that we want it to be big, big love, right? Big love. And so when you release, the more you release through emotion and energetic, the more space you have for the aligned life. And this is actually how you align the life that you desire. So that's the first thing is release, 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 release. Let go. The second thing that is pure magic and what I help clients with is if their heart feels like it is kind of in circles or kind of like trapped a little bit, like maybe guarded or walls or like trauma. And we can't, this is where love, so blue is going to be, this is where love has a hard time getting in. And the love that exists already inside of you right here under, you know, like under some of these things, love also has a hard time getting out. This is a like a stuck state. This is where your heart is like, but I want, and then what you're actually creating is all the things that are things that you don't want to create. So it's like, what do we do? Well, here's what I do. Energetically, I work with the heart field and I can help these walls come down. This is also part of the release. Okay, so we're opening up the heart, opening up, but also these things I help to get bigger. And when those energies, that's like an inner energy field, diamond radiance, inner radiance, when those get bigger, love goes out and love can come in because the way that your heart is meant to work is in an infinite loop of giving and receiving. But if we have those walls and if our heart energy is covered, then we can't properly be in a infinite giving and receiving energy with people, right? Because we have a world where hearts look like this. And we can't make that connection. People feel that, right? But we're meant to be like this. You're meant to have that infinite loop, and that I'm meant to have that infinite loop. And together we're meant to share open energy. And I'm meant to help you break down your wall, and you're meant to help me break down my wall, right? And so this is unity consciousness. Okay. And that is being in connection to you as the universe inside of you and the universe, the greater universe. And so think about manifesting at that level. Okay. So that's step two. So we've gone over really important to number one, be a full on yes to your dreams. Like if you're experiencing any of this stuff in the red, run really fast towards whatever direction you resonate with most, whether it's with me, whether it's with another leader. But this is not something you can do by yourself. There's many steps to it. But this, I'm teaching you how to create your inner dream life, live your destiny. It's pretty phenomenal that you showed up here today for this. Okay. Um, let's look at the last step. And then I'd love to take some time to chat with you guys. So the last step, so we've done release. I'm going to call activate is where we turn on those seeds, and that's with the energy. So that's where we're growing love. That's where you get immersed in a reality. You either a small group setting or working with me privately where I really hone in on these guys, okay, and waking them up. For those of you who want to know what your purpose is, this is where your purpose is. For those of you who want to find your soulmate, this is where your soulmate connection is. This is basically your connection to all that exists. And then we have create. So the last piece requires you to take aligned action. And this aligned action can be something that comes through your intuition. It can also be something that, you choose to maybe like a vision you choose to move forward with. But most specifically, aligned action is going to be taking action from this energy. And that's your heart's wisdom. And when you take action from your heart's wisdom, you instantly create a new reality. Because you're stopping the process of creating from the past, because you've released the past. You've activated these new light, these new diamond frequencies, this new heart intelligence, the field of energy that exists inside of you. And now you're creating from that. This is a phenomenon, you guys. Like, I'm literally telling you the secret to the universe. I'm telling you how to connect to all that exists inside of you and to create with all that exists outside of you. This is quantum magic. This is how to create the new earth. This is how to create your destiny. This is the secret to life right here, right now. Like, master this and you don't need anything else. Okay. Here's the other thing. Like, does this excite you? I love, love, love teaching about this. To know that this exists and that you came here today to hear this, because every single one of you has something extraordinary to create. And most likely you're waiting to hear this information. And I have to tell you that if I can do this, I'm not a rocket scientist. I just figured out through immersing myself in environments with teachers and being in experiences where my soul and my heart showed me the future that we have we have all the power within us. Nothing outside of us is more powerful than what I just shared with you. But the thing is we actually have to exercise our right to work this way. This is the heart technology, and it's more powerful than any other technology or threat or whatever, because in this has all the solutions to what we need. All in all, the solutions to what you need. This is where all the healing of your body comes from. This is where um, the new earth vision that you have comes from. All of it comes from the heart field, the frequency field. And I am so excited to share this with you because what I'm teaching my clients right now is how to be in this field of energy all the time. And what they have challenges with is outside distractions. But the good news and the bad news is I'll give you the bad news first. The outside distractions are not going to go away. The good news is that your heart is more powerful than all of them, but you have to learn how to use it the way God intended. Okay. And we have a frequency war right now going on. And for people um who have not chosen this fully, meaning you're not immersing yourself in the energy of your heart frequency field, awakening your diamonds and really going, really releasing your past so you don't create it. What's happening is when you're in those lower energies where you maybe have forgotten or you're distracted or you're sick or you're worried, what happens is those threatening energies, they can really do a number on you. And I mean, I know this for sure because it's happened to me. And it can kind of, what happens actually is it spins you counter, it spins you out of the toric field, which is the heart frequency field, which is where where creation actually exists. All right. I'm sharing a lot with you guys so I can, so that you know that um so you know the facts. These are the facts, right? So there's no gray area right now. In essentially what the gray area would be default mechanism, which is this. And that's where the frequency stuff is coming in. Like like me. I was in a community where I was there was a lot of programming in the community and I was like, wait, should I be teaching about how to prepare for the end of the world? Should I be teaching about that? And I was like, no, wait, I create the new world. But I had to get myself out of that. And it was like a battle. I was like, whoa, I'm not sovereign here, right? Or it's really about the environment that you immerse yourself in. So, um, is this helpful for you guys? Can I get some feedback? Can I get some love? Anybody? I feel all of you guys. Uh, Rachel, yay, good to see you. I do feel like the end, no mic or camera, concur with what you are sharing. Hey, Larry, it's good to see you. I do feel like the end comes after the next era of, which is just a part of it. My thoughts are on the end. I'm just going to talk about this because I've been really experiencing this for a while. Power of the heart. Yeah. Awesome to learn more about the power and the potential available to us. Yes, awesome. Okay, you guys, here you do not have to wait. You do not have to wait for anything to start this. It's really once you are really like aware of how incredibly powerful you are, and you don't have to wait. You decide. You decide when the end happens and when the beginning happens, because the ending and the beginning are the one and the same thing. Okay. So when I go, and this is why I was brought through what I was brought through. Okay. I ended my relationship with the patriarchal structure of society willingly. Okay. And in that, what I discovered was I had some work to do, that I was out of alignment with my soul. And so I did the work and I got in alignment with my soul and I saw some miraculous things happen. I was like, wow, everybody gets to live this way. And then I realized that I was meant to be teaching about endings. And what do they really mean? And what are some of the things that we can expect? All right. And since we're here right now, and Rachel brought it up, I want to share what my take is on it. It's exactly whatever you think it is. Okay. But essentially, endings can be a letting go of what doesn't serve you. Okay. And what happens in a in a toxic world, because we have a toxic world, is generally there's going to be some sort of chaos. There's going to be some sort of destruction. There's going to be some sort of loss. And all of that is to trigger the wounds of our heart. Because whenever there's sad stuff going on, or things that like chaos, destruction, things that are like out of control, or whatever opinions are, there's a lot of sides being taken. This is right and this is wrong. And essentially what has to end is that. That has to end. That has, for humanity, the war that goes on within our hearts, because that's where all of our wounds are. That is what is ending. And the thing about it is that you can either willingly choose to end that in your own life, which is where there's extraordinary power for you when you say, you know what, I'm choosing to end this. I'm choosing to end this, this timeline for myself. I'm choosing to end the war that I have with myself, right? If you're at war with yourself, well, choose to end that. Like, choose to create peace. But essentially, it's a letting go of what doesn't serve you. And that letting go can happen through your own life chaos, which is also mirroring external chaos. And it's a choice. And generally what happens is when you hold on so long and so tight, something's got to go. So if something's got to go, something's going to shift out of your reality. And that's nothing to be afraid of. It's only because what's happening is your heart organically wants to open up to something new, because this is a process of God. And God wants us to shift into the beginning. And that beginning is where we are truly functioning from our hearts. And we're creating new realities. And this is what endings and beginnings are. So when I think of endings, I think of, okay, what in my life, what am I holding on to? that is not serving me. Usually it's a belief, a thought, it's an old pattern. Okay, what do I do to let go of it? I go through the letting go process, but I'm also very active daily in nourishing my heart, nourishing my body, nourishing my heart, growing this frequency field of love and radiating it, giving it, being in it, sharing it. And so that's actively creating my future. So I end something and I begin it sometimes within a split second with consciousness. Okay, I'm not going to allow that to happen. I'm not going to believe in that, and I'm going to create a new beginning. And that new beginning always, 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 always comes from my heart because I spend time, hours nourishing, growing, connecting to this field of infinite love. And then when it comes to a choice moment, especially with relationships, I choose love and I choose to create love. Is that helpful? So that's my feeling on, so peace. Peace and love are the beginning. What what concerns me is that this is not known. And because it's not known, people don't know that they have a choice. And what happens is we don't know how to let go properly. And we're not supported with letting go. So what actually ends up happening is more and more endings are occurring. But those endings, what's also happening is it's leaving us very, very raw. And this is why I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to be teaching this like every single moment of every day. But so the raw emotions that people are feeling and like the negativity, that's all because we don't know, most people don't know what to do with the raw emotions. And what I do with the raw emotions is I use them to create them through properly releasing them, but also they're potent energy to create love. They're so potent to create love if you know how to do it. And that's really becoming a master of energies, the energetics of the heart. So the ending is ending suffering within your own heart. And the beginning is creating a love life that you love. It can be that simple. Like I want to end suffering. For me, it was like I want to end suffering. And I knew that my heart's dream, what I felt and what I knew inside of me was so freaking magical. I was like, I'm all in. And that's just how I was. I'm like, I'm all in. Just tell me how to do it, show me, be beside me, walk with me. And I hired a coach. And for years, because I had a lot that I had to end that wasn't working for me. And that ending and the beginning happened simultaneously. So as soon as I ended something, I began something. And that is just something that's evolution. You end a reality, you end a you just, yeah, I'm not going to make that choice anymore. I'm going to follow my heart. I'm not going to follow my head. That could be something that is an ending, an end of not trusting myself. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop second guessing myself. I'm going to fully trust myself. That can be an ending. I'm going to stop giving my power away to people who use me. That could be an ending. But every time you're given the opportunity to end it, you got to end it. And then you've got to also go hard in the opposite direction, which means if you're a people pleaser and you're giving all your power away to people and you're not having anything left for yourself, then you have to learn how to fill that infinite cup more and more and more and more and focus on that and developing those habits so that this is what I mean, you got to go hard in the opposite direction. And this is where a lot of people are right now because not going hard in the opposite direction means that the default happens. And so you're just staying in a state of stuckness. Is that helpful? It helps to fast track when you have high level allies. Yes, yes. Fast tracking is where you're riding high with high vibes and high vibe people. Okay. Um, so I wanted to give you guys just some insight into what is possible. Now, this is this is the energetics of creation that I'm sharing with you. I'm really excited that more people that you guys did show up for this. And also I understand that, some of you might say, yeah, I got some pieces. I got some pieces and I'm gonna like add them to my toolbox. But to be honest with you, this system was given to me as a prophecy. And what I mean by prophecy was like it birthed from my heart and I created it into my reality. And so it's not something that, all of a sudden you can be like, oh, I'm just going to go off and do it, right? It may have given you some like inspiration, but honestly, this is like it's a complex intelligence that really takes a professional to be able to guide and mentor you with, meaning you can't just kind of go off and say, well, I'm just going to release this version of me and I'm just going to start fresh. That might happen for like a day, but to really, really, really create phenomenal life shifts, which is what I'm here to do in the world, is that you want this what I talked about, this heart system to be like just every day. So here's an example. In my dreams, I'm shown the future. In my dreams, my heart is always showing me like what either I'm clearing something or I'm creating something. And this is my constant state of being. And this is what it means to be a human. This is what it means to be a human. This is how we were designed to live. Everything else is something that is part of um, a system, and that system is what's crashing. Okay, that is the system that God wants to just be to crash. And so, whatever's going to crash that system, God's allowing to happen. We may not agree with that, but that is the plan. Now, the other part of the plan is that we have all these beautiful divine human beings, you guys, who have these beautiful, extraordinary hearts that might be covered up, but we want to unearth all these amazing diamonds and we want to radiate those diamond energies out into the energy field and raise the vibration of the planet. But that's not enough, you guys. Staying at home and sitting at home and just, you know, this is who I am, not enough. You actively have to create that divine life. And that is where the rubber meets the road because there's a lot of resistance to that. It feels counterintuitive to create that. It feels scary sometimes to say, whoa, I'm going to follow my heart. And my head says something completely different. But it really, 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 to create any type of new reality, it takes building the foundation of success because that foundation of success for it being a divine human being and creating your own reality and living your dream life has nothing in common with this system. It's completely different and it's run through the technology of your heart and the intelligence of your heart, and it correlates with the intelligence of the universe. And so it takes an understanding of quantum energy, how energy exists, how to use energy, what not to do with energy. So it's a very complex thing. And, like I said, you can take anything and everything that I shared with you and you can run with it. But if you want to create the dream that is within your heart, the next step that I have for you is that we actually go and we create your customized plan. And this is basically where we look at all the factors in your life that would be in that red area. So the red area would be like kind of the negative things, the things that are going against you. Maybe that's relationships, maybe that's career, maybe it's finances. Um, but we look at how to, number one, create some forward movement for you. And I do this individually because everybody's different. Everybody has a different heart field. Everybody has different circumstances going on. And when I look at what I do is I take a look at this heart field. And when I look at the heart field, I can get a really good idea what is the plan moving forward for you and really customize it and say, well, this is what we want to focus on because I'm going to know right away what to focus on to start growing your future immediately because that's what you want. Like, this is the fastest way to create your dream life. And I also want to say this. And this is what my fitness coach tells me because number one, Rome was not built in a day. Um, when I when I when I meet with my fitness coach, she says, "Okay, like here's the plan. Are you ready to work the plan?" And sometimes I say, "Well, I'm not ready to do the entire plan." And when I know I say I'm not ready to do the entire plan yet, she's going to come back at me and say, "Okay, then when you're ready to do the entire plan, that's really when your success is going to be paramount. Like it's really you're really going to see it, right?" And so, what we work on is we work on tweaking and shifting nutrition and diet and exercise intensity and sleep. And I'm realizing that everything is really complex right now because it all has to do with energy. And so, what we'll do in this session is we'll look at the complexity of your life. And I want to take the overwhelm out of it because I'm going to give you like the customized plan. All right. Here's what your goals are. Here's what your desires are. Here are the factors that are influencing your forward movement. And here's what I recommend. And this is my professional recommendation based on not what your mind is telling me, but what your heart is telling me it wants. And I want to give you permission to follow that heart because that heart, your heart, it already knows everything. It is the all-knowing self. It is the wisdom of creation. It is the entire universal energy field that exists inside of you. And that is incredibly powerful. And this is what you can trust. This is really the only thing that you can trust. It is the only thing that I trust. I trust my heart. I trust my heart. I trust my intuition. And I get my head in alignment with my heart so that my heart is the one that is creating my reality. And so, like, why take it from me, right? I should have said this earlier, but like, why believe me? Well, I have a pretty extraordinary life. And all of it came because I chose to end a reality. And that reality was the life where I was out of harmony, out of sync, out of alignment with my soul, heart and soul. Same thing to me. And when I started to follow my heart, I had instant healing. I had instant manifestations, abundance, wealth, opportunities. Um, I've been to some pretty extraordinary places and I've really saturated and marinated myself in this life of living the inner dream. Um, and the most incredible thing that I've created and then what I am most proud of has been my family. I am a family, and my clients are my family. They're an extension of my family. And you guys being here in my living room, like 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock, and just being able to share this, like you're my family. And I feel that what I've been given has been such an extraordinary gift that came out of the pain of losing my family, losing my children, losing custody, losing control of everything. And what God showed me during that time is He literally showed me how to unite a world. And it moves me so much to know that the temporary loss that I suffered, where I lost custody of my children, and I realized during that time that I couldn't hold on to anything, that I was being shown how to be an extraordinary gift to the world. And I knew that instinctively when I went through that, that awful time. It was also what catapulted me into this greater understanding of what was absolutely necessary for us as human beings to get on board with. And I'm so grateful. And so what has happened since that time was when the rug was pulled out from under me, God showed me an extraordinary gift. He showed me, number one, how to properly release the past and end the karmic timeline for Earth. So my soul was chosen to end karma, to end it, to wipe it off the planet, because karma is a program. And karma is what separates all of us from love. And so I went through a pretty intense year, 2 years of ending karma. And what happened at the end of ending karma was I realized that number one, I was going to give my children the choice of who they wanted to live with. They didn't choose me. And so I had to heal more. But what happened was at the end of this karmic cycle, there was an angel at the end of the cycle. That angel was me. I was birthed. I was rebirthed. I was resurrected. And the version of me that came out of that was a miracle. She brought her kids back home, all three of them, not in the way that I thought it was going to happen, but in a way that was perfect for each of our soul evolutions. And not only that, what was waiting for me was another angel, and that was my husband. And we share a destiny, and that is love, but also two sons. And what I learned during this time of rebirth, resurrection, and divine love was I lost temporarily a version of myself that was a woman, a mother, but I gained a family. And not only that, along the way, I've gained clients, I've gained extraordinary soul friendships that will last a lifetime. I've gained success, but that's not even what is predicated on, I could say, yes, financial, but my financials are run through my love. And I always say that love is money. And truly, the love and the connection that happens here within our family, I can't forget my dog because he's my soul dog. But the human family, I mean, this for you and your family and anybody you're connected to needs this. And they need you if you're a mom, if you're wanting a relationship, if you're married, if you have any inkling of love, you can't be without this. Because this and the feeling of a family where there is the presence of love, connection between a man and a woman, joy and happiness. And all of this came after a very difficult time. It came after death. It came after divorce. It came after a lot of crushing experiences. But what made it all come together was what existed inside of my heart before I even knew that this was going to happen. My heart had already created it. And as I released and expanded the physical manifestations, they just happened. And that's what we all want. We want the end result, but we have to be willing to do the work. And so what I want to invite you into, I love creating these sacred spaces, but what I love to do even more is I love to go deep one-on-one with people. And so what I'm offering right now is an opportunity to do some one-on-one work with me for an hour. And I want to say this right now, if you know that you absolutely positively, there's no way for you to afford any type of investment that, you know, you hop off, you hop off now. And this means that you're just not willing to put any type of financial investment forward for yourself, because what I'm going to share is going to be an investment. It's not a massive investment, but it will require you to put some, to be a yes and to walk through a doorway and to really be like a heck yes to yourself and your future. And that starts with just doing some one-on-one work with me for an hour. And this is where we build out your future. This is where you get me, my attention, my energy, my expertise. And I call this an inner soul radiance consulting call. So again, if you know that absolutely positively you will never invest anything in yourself, then you guys, thank you so, so much for being here. And I would love for those people who are considering doing some deeper work with me and really, really feel this in their hearts, you guys can stay on and I will share the opportunity with you. Okay, so I'll give you guys some time to exit. I will let you know that this investment is more than $400, just to kind of give you a price range. Okay, so if you absolutely know you're like, nope, no way in hell, can't do it, can't swing it. I love you guys and thank you for being here in this space. And if you are really excited and fascinated and are like, absolutely heck yes, I'm so want to get more of this information, you are drawing the wrong conclusion. Thank you, Larry. Then I will share this link with you. And this link is a link to a $600 personal consulting call with me. And that's where you get me, my time, my energy, my focus specifically on your heart, your desires, your dreams, and your forward action. So I will leave that for you. That is all I have for this presentation. Larry, thank you for your feedback. But as a professional, I like to let people know that I'm about to give them a big offer and allow them to leave if they choose to. So know that this is how it works. So you have to purchase the call, Once you purchase the call, you'll be taken to a calendar page, and that calendar page will allow you to choose your call time. All right. So I can't wait to see you. And if you guys, think about it, you can copy the link down because I am going to close out this room shortly. Is there anybody who has any questions about this opportunity, who are considering it? If you would like to ask some questions, I'm definitely here to answer some questions. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And if you don't have any questions and you know that you won't be signing up for the call, I'm all done. If you do have questions, you can go ahead and stay on. Specifically about the coaching call. Let's see. Do you have any way to tell the difference between I would say, Rachel, if you want to book a call, you can do that, and I can get into that more. I know we've talked about this before, but that would be something that we could look into on a call. If you wanted to do that, I definitely recommend it. That's where I look personally at your field, your heart field. I'd be able to discern more of that. Okay. So Janice, Carol, and can't see that only because my Ahmad, I think. Are you guys all set, or do you have questions? Okay. I am going to close out. So if you want to copy the link down, if it's something that you're going to do. Thanks, Carrie. No questions. Thank you. Inspiring. Very. Thank you. Thank you so much for the compliments. Thank you guys for being here. I really enjoyed sharing this with you, and I hope it helped. All right. Take care.